Ranger people, welcome back to another Power Rangers review, and today we are obviously going to take a look at the Power Rangers Zeo 1/6 scale figures. These are by ThreeZero, and these have been delayed for quite some time. They were due in March over in the UK anyway, and obviously we're now in August and they have finally shown up. These I did get from the whole shebang. They do give me a slight discount just to give them a shout out where they are in stock currently. So if you're in the UK or anywhere else and you do fancy picking up this set, head over to the whole shebang where you can get this amazing 5-pack. And before I get too much into the video, I just want to give a huge thanks to anybody supporting my videos at the moment, because my previous Playmates video did actually do pretty well. And if you enjoy these kind of videos, please subscribe to the channel, because I will also be reviewing this Zeo Gold Ranger where I will show all 6 Rangers together. And I've recently picked up the Playmates Reignition Megazord, so I will be reviewing and transforming that all in the same video. But for now, we are going to take a look at these amazing figures. I did bust these out yesterday just very quickly and did a short unboxing on Instagram, TikTok and whatever, and they are absolutely incredible. I've packed it all back up so you can see it as it would be out of the box, but for now you can see this amazing artwork of the figures. This isn't of the Rangers themselves or out of a show or anything like that. This is the figures. Obviously we've got our logos at the top and telling us what we're getting inside at the bottom. On one side we've got some nice artwork, and again this is of the figures themselves. We've also got this Zeo emblem on the other side, which seems to be quite a common thing. The packaging is a little bit different to the Mighty Morphin one, so as you take a look at the Zeo Gold Ranger in the next video, you will see the difference there. But finally, on the back, it is showing us what we're going to get inside the box. So you can see we've got all our figures with a transformable blaster, which all our weapons combine into. Obviously, we've got our figures at the bottom there. Tons of accessories with this, so I'm super excited to show you. But as first glance, I will just open the packet because there is a nice window display inside. So as we lift that up, you can see we've got all 5 Rangers inside, and then behind them all is all their weapons and stuff like that. So even if you were gonna just leave these in the box, you can display them quite nicely, but obviously you're gonna have to account for the space, because if you want to open it, it does reveal this card on the flap, so it's just showing all the various Zeo Rangers, and again this is of the figures and not of the costumes from the show or anything like that. So nice bit of packaging there. It has got the Velcro to keep it down. It's really heavy because there is quite a lot in there, but we're going to take them out and have a look at the figures up close. So first up, we've got our instructions. It's obviously showing the figures that we're getting inside, the various weapons and hands, and on the back, it's we open it up, it will show us how to combine all the weapons together. So there's a couple of different bits there. Obviously the main one is the Zeo blaster, and the pistol does connect to the sword, and I will do all this, so I will show you, so don't worry too much about this. Obviously if you're picking this up, it does come with some warranty, so I never bother with these. It's probably stupid of me to do it, to be honest, but it is there apparently to register. All you need is your receipt. I'm going to do all these in number order, so we're starting with Zeo Ranger 1, and I believe it is something to do with the shape on the helmet, and there's no sides on this one, or just one maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Zeo Ranger 1 is Cat. This is the Pink Ranger, and very, very nice. I love the smell of these. If you haven't done and you've bought these, go and have a little whiff, because they're really weird smell, but I love it. Anyway, she comes with a belt. You can see there she's got the cuffs here. The suit looks absolutely beautiful. It's got a nice wash in between for the pattern. The boots are obviously what we've seen before. The bodies do feel a lot more stable in this, and I love the helmets. The high gloss on these, absolutely incredible. On the back, we've obviously got our clip for our belt, which isn't covered like the MMPR ones, and you can see the seam down the back of the dress, but who's going to display it backwards? And that just doesn't bother me at all. We've got our belt with our holsters, so this side obviously is for our sword, and then we've got the blaster or the laser pistol, whatever it's called, for the other side. So really, really nice. These do feel a lot better than the MMPR ones. They do seem to stand a bit better. A massive problem with the old ones were that the feet used to come off all the time. I don't feel that that's going to be much of an issue for this at all. So yeah, the suit looks absolutely beautiful on that. Really happy with her. Zeo Ranger 2 is the yellow one, and again, a lot of this is going to be very, very similar, because as you know, the suits are very, very samey. It is just the helmets and the color of the suits that's different. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of the figure itself. So there is the yellow one. I like these little mouthpieces. They always make me laugh because they just look weird. That is it for our female figures. Next up, we've got number 3, which is a blue ranger. So we've got Rocky here. I have got a feeling this is going to be my favorite one for some reason. I just love how the blue is popping on the suit. It looks incredible. And the gloss on the helmet, I think this one stands out so much more. You can just see the whole reflection of absolutely everything in there. How they get that so smooth, I have no idea, but that's beautiful. So in these male figures, they have got some extra padding. It seems like they're just trying to bulk out the shoulders, so you can see that that's squishing in there. That's fine with me, it looks fine. Just beefs it up a little bit more so he looks like he's got some muscles in there. Next up for the men, we have got Adam. This is the Zeo Ranger 4. You can see he's got his the 4 lines on the helmet, so that's obviously how they're indicating the number of the Ranger. Again, this is exactly the same as what we've just seen with the blue one, but it is green, and obviously we've got the different helmet, but again they're continuing with that crazy gloss helmet. It looks insane. I absolutely love these figures, I really do. The MMPR ones did have their issues, and they do look really, really nice just posed up, but these just feel so much more stable. I mean, you can see the nice pattern in the suit there. The suit's continuing up into the neck, which the MMPR did. I think my only little nitpicky bit would be how loose the cuffs are of the hands. And of course, we're saving the main man till last. We've got Zeo Ranger 5. This is the Red Ranger. Tommy Oliver looking incredible with his amazing star. So we've got his 5 points on his star. And again, this is the same suit that we have just seen multiple times, but obviously in red. So nothing different with them, but altogether they do look absolutely incredible. It would have been interesting to see what they'd have done with some civilian head sculpts, but in all honesty, I don't think I would have wanted to have displayed them with them anyway, so I would have been very, very happy with keeping the price as it is and then not having to kind of pay extra to account for those head sculpts. So there is the team all together looking absolutely beautiful. I am going to grab all of the accessories and go through those really quickly. We'll go through some articulation as we do normally. However, I am really excited to show you these accessories because they are incredible. Moving on to the accessories, I'm going to get all of these out, minus the hands, because there is a lot of hands there. I don't even know how many there is, but a very, very nice amount of hands. There may be a couple here and there which are specific to depending on what weapon that they're going to hold and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get these out of the box. So the first thing for the accessories, I just want to show you this and move on from it. But this is a massive improvement of ThreeZero to be doing this, because they did not do this in the MMPR, but they have included a number of different joint clips, or pegs, joint pegs, whatever they're called. And I did break some out of my MMPR box. I'm not going to lie, I did break my Yellow Ranger's arm because I thought it was double jointed and it wasn't. So obviously it's my fault. I did repair it and it is fine, but obviously I can't move it. But I know that some people had some issues with these, especially pulling in the hands and stuff like that. So it's a huge improvement in my opinion, and a massive thanks from me at least to ThreeZero for including these, because I think that should be standard in all of them, that they're going to, because you can look at how thin they are, you could easily break that. So we're swapping out the hands and how delicate these can be. It's a really, really good idea. Next up, we do have their Power Pod sword. This does come with an interchangeable sword guard. So this one is a little bit bigger. I'm assuming this is kind of for when they have it in their hand. This one is suitable for having it in their holster and something else. So if we want to put it into that mode, we can slide that off. This one just slides back on. It does stay on there nicely. There's like a little, almost like a peg that it can go into, so you just push that on there, and then like a nice little radio antenna, it does pull out. So really, really cool. I love that. It's a steady metal. Obviously you can break it, but as long as you're careful putting them in and out, I don't see that that's going to be any problem at all. They also come with their pistol, so their little blaster, and this does connect. So you can see there it's got like a nice translucent plastic, so we can see through that. But if we pull that one down, and then we can grab this and change the sword guard back to the smaller one, that actually has a magnet on there. and it fits on really, really stable. It's not going to fall off as much as you shake it. Obviously it can if you throw it, but it's probably not going to. And yeah, that looks really nice. I really, really like that. I'm tempted to at least display one of them with that because I think it looks really cool. And they each come with their own personal weapons as well, as you would hope and expect. So this is Rocky's tonfas. It seems as though they're supposed to bend, and it feels like it wants to, but to be honest, it almost feels like it doesn't want to, so I don't want to push it too much and end up breaking it. So I'm just going to assume that they're not and just put it in his hands as they are. But these don't have battle damage on them like the MMPR ones do. I know the Black Rangers axe and stuff had all little bits of battle damage on. These don't have anything like that. It would have been pretty cool to have done that, but they've put the wash in where it should be, so they look really, really nice. Next up, we do have the Green Rangers axes. So this is Adam's axes. They are kind of what they are. Do look really nice. Obviously, we're going to need some sort of specific hand for them to go in because they are pretty square. We've also got Cat's power disc. I think that looks really nice. The pattern that they've put in there, the effort that they've gone to looks beautiful. Obviously on this side it does have a little fold out handle so we can get her to hold that. We do get 2 pairs of the Yellow Rangers nunchucks. Not so much detail, more of a sticker on that one. So that one you can tell has just been, had a little sticker put on it. But the chains look really nice, and obviously there is 2 of them. You can see on there that they've even put the detail on the end of each one of them. And finally, we do have Tommy's sword. So there is a couple of different options with this. We have got a short blade that if you wanted him just to kind of hold it in that mode, or there is a use for it, which I will show later. But if you wanted to, you can pop that bit out and grab the full-size version of the blade, and that just slides in there. Again, it doesn't feel like it wants to come out. It feels like it's in there. I'm not sure if that's magnetic or if it is just perfectly fitting, but it looks nice. Apologies for the focus there. The detail on that again is really, really good. And it wouldn't be a blaster without being able to put it together, so I'm going to remove that and we are going to make a start on that. So it comes with some extra pieces. We're going to want to start with our blaster, so it would be in that mode. We're going to switch that down. And out of the box it does come with these 2 extra pieces. So we've got a magnet piece there and a little clip. So what we're going to do is, again, with our blaster, we're going to grab that. And this bit, I believe, does just clip onto the end of this silver bit. So that should just push on like that. And you can straighten that out. Obviously, you need to do that. It won't do it for you. But once you've done that, we want to grab this one. And I believe that goes in the little marks here. As you can see, there is some little sort of bits that need to clip into that. That just slides on there. So now those 2 bits are on, we're ready to start loading it with some other stuff, but we do need to pull this bit out first. So that just pulls on the bottom, but obviously be careful that we don't want to lose that. And now we want to grab an axe, and there's lots of little hidden pieces in these figures. So here's a handle for it. So we're going to slide that, and then it's going to go in the bottom of that, so it like replaces the white bit that we've just pulled out. So there's the base of our blaster. Next, we want to grab our sword. I may be doing this in a different way because when I tried to do this yesterday, I ended up having to put this bit on after, but this is what it's telling me to do anyway. So we'll just carry on with it like this and adjust if I need to, and I will show you how the difference is. The chains for this bit go on the back, and that uses a magnet just to keep them bits into place. They seem to be a little bit too heavy for that magnet, I'm not going to lie, so you would probably need to be a little bit careful. Now we want to get the shield and pop that onto the top bit that we've clipped on. And this is what I was saying about them being a little bit loose. I understand they're strong small magnets, so they're not going to be that strong, but they definitely could do with being a little bit stronger. But now we've done that, we want to get a tonfa. So this has a nice little slidey bit on the top here. So you should, I'm trying to do this with one hand now, slide that down like that. So that reveals our little hole. And we're going to pop that on the top here. Okay, that went a lot better than it did when I done it before. So there's this one. And finally, I think that's it. We just want to pull the blade out of that. Put in a small blade. Apologies for the view there, peoples. And don't think I've missed anything else, but that literally just is a really strong magnet. That is not gonna fall off of there. If anything, everything else is gonna fall off before I pull it, and you can see just how good that is. So yeah, there it is. That's it. There is our Zeo blaster all together. Looks really, really nice. I love the detail on that. It's absolutely incredible. I'm not going to lie. I think this is probably, in my opinion, better than the MMPR ones. I know we get a lot of love from MMPR. Just so refreshing to see something that is not MMPR from a company like this, because we all know that you need to introduce MMPR to be able to sell a lot of this stuff. So I will keep buying these as they keep putting them out, because that is beautiful. Moving on to some articulation for these figures. I will just do one of the figures, and I'm going to use the green because, unfortunately, and it's no offense to Adam, but he's probably my least favorite. So at least if something was to happen and I'm not going to push these to the limit and something breaks, then at least it'll be this one and not any of the others. But so sorry, Adam. Anyway, the head does do a full 360, and like I say, I'm not going to push them. I'm just going to kind of show you. There is a swivel on there. It looks up quite a nice amount, so you can kind of go Zeo. As you can see, there is a bit of a butterfly hidden in there. We have got bicep swivel. Obviously, the arm does move up and down. It is restricted by the suit. We've got a double joint on the elbow there, as you can see, and full 360 on our wrist. There is some ab crunch in there and some movement at the waist, which is probably on a ball. The legs move out quite a nice amount. They are kind of on a little bit of a ratchet, but this kind of clicking just scares the hell out of me. It really does, I'm not gonna lie. So again, my Draken figure, the hip always pops out, which is really annoying. It is a pain to try and get it back in. Yeah, this one feels a lot more stable than that anyway, but again, I'm not just gonna keep pushing these for the sake of the video, because these are personal for my collection. It did come out of my own pocket. So double joint on the knees, you can see there's one there and one there, so that's cool. Other than that, we've just got the foot that's on the ball. Again, these don't feel like they're just gonna keep popping off like the MMPR ones do. If you want to muck about with the leg, it does twist out as well, and you can move the boots to suit whatever it is that you want to do. So there's quite a bit on there. It is pretty decent, but being quite stiff, they do just scare me, these figures. I'm not going to lie. They're so expensive, especially for buying the whole 5-pack, and I don't care how much money people have got. £500, £400 for the set of 5 and £500 for all 6 figures is a lot of money. The articulation is what we'd expect. It's the same as what we've seen before, and nothing new really there, other than just feeling a little bit more stable. This one doesn't feel that stable on the feet because his feet just don't seem to want to sit flat, but then again, I'm kind of moving the table, he's not going to fall. So yeah, I'm all right with that. Moving on to some comparisons of these figures. I'm not going to compare each and every figure. You can see that there is quite a size difference to their helmets. I would honestly go as far as saying that there's a little bit of a difference in the body shapes. I don't know, it could just be my eyes. They both do look absolutely incredible. So if you've got like a dedicated shelf to put all these together, they would look very, very nice. Like I say, I think the only difference really there is the size in the helmets. You can see that the Zeo one is quite a bit larger than the red one, and I don't know if that's just where no one seems to be able to do the red helmet properly or not. I don't know, but yeah, I think together they both look really, really nice. Here's one just to show the difference in the size of the females, which isn't a lot, to be honest. I would say this one probably looks a little bit wider than the new one. The Zeo one does look a little bit taller, but I have bent her knees and kind of posed her in a different way, so I don't think she's that much taller. However, I do think that the Pink Ranger helmet is very, very round on that one, and this one looks very, very long. So they're obviously different helmets, different costumes, so that's fine. Again, this is more just to show them together, really, more than anything. Of course, it wouldn't be a Power Rangers show without seeing all the Tommy Olivers together. So this is all the ThreeZero and Toys Battalion. These two are obviously Toys Battalion ones, the rest is all ThreeZero. I didn't bother picking up the So-So Toys ones just because I felt like they were too similar to the ThreeZero. It wasn't like the Zeo Gold Ranger we weren't gonna get. And I think I probably would pick up maybe the Dino Thunder ones at some point, but I honestly think that we will get the Dino Thunder team in a box together. I will just hold out and see and pick it up on the second-hand market later on if I have to, but I just prefer these. I prefer the size and everything. I know they're extending the pegs on the So-So ones, but in my opinion, I just prefer these, and they are a lot better. I think the one to beat is the Toys Battalion movie suit. It's just absolutely beautiful, and the 1/12 scale figures are coming very, very soon. They have started shipping out, so if you've pre-ordered them, just keep an eye out because they are coming. So let's wrap up this with my final thoughts and see all these figures together. Wrapping up this video with my final thoughts on this amazing set. Just want to point out, I did manage to get the Tomphers to do what they should have done, so that was really, really cool. They display very, very well. I've been super excited to be putting these into my cabinets for such a long time. I've been saving that space for ages, and I'm just so happy that they are now here. I can't wait to be adding these in, as well as the Zeo Gold Ranger. So don't forget, if you want to see that video, please subscribe to my channel. That will be coming in the next couple of days. But for these figures, for the price point, they are what you'd expect. So we know that they're going to be expensive figures. If you're grabbing anything from ThreeZero, especially something of this kind of size of a pack, you know it's going to be a lot of money. Personally, I think that what you're getting for your money is good value in a sense. Obviously, it's a lot of money for anybody, as I said before, but considering what I paid for it was quite a bit under 100 per figure, so massive thanks again to the whole shebang for the discount for that. I can't appreciate that enough. And he did send these out so quickly as soon as he got them, probably because I was being quite impatient and constantly bugging him. He's probably getting sick of me, but there we go. The articulation on them is what I would expect to have seen. Something that I don't like to push in these figures, because as you can see there, we're sort of straining on the fabric already. I don't think over time that's going to rip or anything like that, but I think that it would just be too risky, in my opinion, to be bending them around. And because I'm not used to these kind of figures, I say I'm not used to them, I've got quite a lot of them now, and I do have all of the Toys Battalion, all of ThreeZero that are out so far, so you'd think by now I probably would be, but I think just because of the cost, I'm just too scared to be pushing them, and I really don't want to ruin them and start breaking anything. So I'm quite happy to just leave them in minimal poses like I have here. I've tried to do a little bit, but I've also got to fit them on one Detolf shelf, so I need to be saving some space for the Gold Ranger as well, but I might elevate him up a little bit behind. Plenty of accessories that come with this, tons of hands which you can swap between them. You can see here that she's got very specific hands to be able to hold them nunchucks, but other than that, and a couple of different pieces, you can swap them around as much as you like. Obviously it comes with plenty of weapons for each of them as well. I'm so glad that they've included spare pegs, because you just never know, and they are quite fragile. However, the female ones do look a little bit different. They've got more of a ball on it rather than a clip like on the male ones. Looking at the figures, I love the suits, and the gloss on the helmet is such high gloss, it just looks incredible. I'm really excited to be getting the turbo ones and hope that they go for In Space, because that was my all-time favorite season. But that is just my opinions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing, because I've got plenty of videos to be keeping me busy over the next couple of weeks, which means I will be putting them on here for your viewing pleasure. But as always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you very, very soon.